Greetings, Studio 108 community. As you can see, I'm on site out of the studio and down the street to Brecksville, where we have the Energy Enhancement System in the room. And so Michelle and I are sitting here in the high vibes, scalar waves, feeling good, feeling happy, getting charged. And I wanted to connect with Michelle today for some conversation. And yeah, I want you in on it. So you should be like, in on these really great conversations. So this is Michelle Falcone. Now, I'm just going to tell the studio family, if you practice at 7 a.m. with Rachel in the hot, at the studio, the hot class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, this is Rachel's mom, Michelle Falcone, and this is Rachel's new baby, Gwendolyn's grandmother. So family, like I love that.
Thank you.
And yeah, so I'm sitting with Michelle today, and we're sitting at the light because one of the things that we've found here at the light is that practices done within this room with this frequency environment are enhanced. They're enhanced physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like across the board. And we're starting to kind of stack the calendar with more and more really great things here at the light, so that you can experience you can have an elevated experience of some of these practices. So like Tom Jasinski's doing breath work here, and Kaylee Toko is doing the restful yoga on Thursday nights, but you don't know Michelle. And I really wanted to sit today and introduce you so that you could get to know her a little bit, because Michelle is going to be doing crystal frequency meditations here on Tuesday nights. It's going to be a part of your regular visit here at the lights, no extra charge or fee, just when you book your session. Know that on every other Tuesday, Michelle will be starting a meditation at 6 p.m. so you can book accordingly. But enough from me. Let me introduce you, drum roll, to Michelle Falcone.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi,
everybody. Thank you so much for having me on here. I love this.
Right. It's fun to have different ways of connecting with people. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I'm privy to a lot of conversations with really interesting people. And I love when I can kind of capture it and share it with our community. Mm-hmm. And then you guys get to know kind of what's going on and what's the backstory behind some of these folks. And it's really, I think, built community and connection for us. And we could barely even get the screen on, where I was like, and what are we going to do at the studio with you, Michelle? And what kind of like, so we already have next steps. All right. This is definitely the era of collaboration and unity coming in this fall. I feel like December is going to be a big push of unity consciousness. February is going to be another, like, I don't want to say upheaval, but upliftment of these kinds of ideas. Mm-hmm. And so Michelle's been a leader in this for a long time. So I know you mentioned 10 plus years at psychic fairs. So yep. Why don't you just start with, like, what do you do and where's your, where you coming from?
Do you have all day?
No. Right, exactly.
So yeah, I discovered that I had abilities, although I didn't know it then, when I was a child, because I could tell that people were not telling the truth sometimes. And I would know what the truth was when they spoke. And so I'd say, well, that's not true. Like, this is true. And that was not popular, you know?
So that was not good girl stuff.
No, right. Just children should be seen and not heard.
Well, or at least they shouldn't be calling out adults.
Right.
And especially in a time when most people weren't honest with themselves at the least, in the least.
That's it. That's it. Totally. They weren't being honest with themselves. So I learned to be quiet, but I was really curious, like, why didn't other people know this? Why was I looking at all these people and everybody's just nodding their head with this person, and I'm not understanding why? Like, how do they not know that this isn't the truth?
That still happens today to you, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't call people out anymore, you know? But yeah, so I just started, my curiosity was piqued. So as a young adult, I started reading. I was always a great reader. Mm-hmm. And I would go to the library and just stand in the library and say to whatever else there was, because I knew there was something else. Like, what should I read? What do you want me to read? And I would literally just start walking.
I love that you had that conversation.
Yeah.
really you consciously had that
Yeah.
conversation as what, like preteen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, what do you want me to, what should I read? And I would just start walking and I would end up in a book section, and inevitably it would be some sort of religious or psychological, you know, all sorts of things, shamanism, Wicca, you know, the history of tarot, like religion, all these things. And that wasn't like typical reading material for someone that age.
It wasn't on the summer reading list.
No.
Getting your little canoe moved across the down the creek.
Yeah.
During the summer reading program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I ask you this? What do you have, like a name or a tag that you placed to that someone that you were asking, like over your lifetime? How have you framed that, or what kind of relationship have you developed through that?
So that's a great question. I have come to understand, and did, even when I was younger, my family was very Catholic, and we went to church every Saturday, and I understood that as Christ consciousness.
Okay.
So that's how I understood it. I mean, I would sit in church and I'd listen to the priest, the one in particular, one who would be like saying everybody's a sinner and this and that. And I thought, that's not true. And I just stopped listening.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
because I wanted to know. And I didn't understand why things were weird.
There was a lot of cognitive dissonance where the cognition was not aligned to what you were sensing as a truth.
Yes.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like when you're born an empath or you're born a sensitive, a lot of us, yeah, then that cognitive dissonance is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of gotten worse as, I want to say, like the veil is lifted, as more of the truths are being shown to us, the underbelly of society and of our systems is being shown to us. It's not really gotten better, but definitely we have each other.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really about being around people that are on your vibration. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we say it all the time. I really vibe with that person. I don't really vibe with that person. It's all frequency, vibration. It's always been that. And people are really coming into understanding that there is something more. I have goosebumps all over me as we're talking about this. There is something more. There is a particular vibe. There is a frequency.
And there's a spectrum of frequency.
Yes.
There is a
100%.
dense frequency and there is a light frequency. And like, I don't want to redirect, but anybody that walks into this room says, oh, because when we're talking about them in the lobby about it's a high frequency field, their mind is like, whatever, I don't know what she's talking about. But when they walk in the room, you feel it.
Yeah.
And your whole system goes, oh, I can feel it. This is interesting. This is, some people say this is weird. This is interesting. Like, you can feel it. You can sense it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's that way with people.
100%.
You know, like certain people have a certain way of being, and we all know it.
Yeah.
We all know. You meet somebody and you're just like, wow, I really like them. Like, I want to get to know them more. Or you meet somebody and you're just like, no.
Not I.
Not a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whatever vibe anybody's on, it's all okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the vibe you're on, you can change it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super empowering.
100%.
Now I want to ask, has there at any point been a time when your mother is open to the conversations like these? Like, do you find that maybe this gift you've had and this knowing that you have came through your lineage in some way?
It may have, but interestingly, I was adopted.
Interesting.
So I don't really know that. I've been told that it is through lineage.
Yeah.
But I even feel like even that, like, I went where I was meant to go.
100%.
I always feel that. So, you
wow.
know,
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is an interesting sensation to even feel that there's a backstory knowing that is just for later.
And you know what's really interesting? I don't think I share this much, but I realized I did meet my biological mom,
Mhm.
and we had a conversation, and I came to understand how certain things transpired in her life and how things came to be. And I really understood that if she had decided to keep me, I might not have come,
Mm, mm,
you know,
yeah. Interesting.
because I wasn't supposed to be there. I was
Yes.
supposed to be there to be born,
Yes.
but
But not to
that was
stay.
it, but
Yeah.
not to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. It unfolded just beautifully.
Yeah. And I I think that could be so helpful for people who are adopted to know that,
Yeah.
you know, you're where you're meant to be, and
Beautiful.
it's all okay.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And I feel like when you share that story and when you sit here with me around that story, like the depth of peace and grace
Mm.
that you hold through having lived this way and for having like opened your heart to yourself and opened your heart to your birth mother and your adoptive mother and the people in your circle and like your practices, right? Like when we talk about in yoga that there are siddhis or powers or gifts that come from the practices, this grace and grounding and peace that you hold is the siddhi, is the power that comes from your life of practicing.
Mm.
And so like it's so beautiful, like that's chills down my spine to be with that kind of energy. And so I'm just going to steer us then to what do you do for people? Because that's a gift.
Oh, thank you.
That's a gift already.
And thank you for saying those things. That's really
Yeah.
beautiful. So my intention is always for healing and always for elevation, always for something positive to come, forgiveness, you know, all those things to elevate to a higher frequency. And that's what happens when whether I'm doing a reading or I'm doing mediumship or the crystal frequency attunement that will be done here, meditations, past life regressions, whatever I'm doing, that is the frequency that I tune into. That's the channel I'm on. And if somebody wants something other than that, that's totally okay. They would not be coming to me.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got like your packaged
Mm-hmm.
gift offering. And
Well,
then you're just feeling for the same thing, like the alignment that it's
yeah.
right for someone.
Do you know what it's like? It's so easy to explain. It's like tuning your radio to a station that you really love music. And if you don't like that music that you're hearing, then you just tune it to a different station.
Right.
So I'm a particular channel, I'm a particular station, I hold a particular vibration. And if you want to listen to that type of music, then you'll
be
you'll tune in.
Yeah, you'll tune in.
And if not, then you'll tune in someplace else, and
Absolutely.
it's all good.
And I think that like goes back to we can change our frequency if we want, and we can trust our own intuitive like resonance system. Like we can trust all the dials on our dashboard that tells us this is a yes for me, this is a no for me, and we're always exactly where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
We have to interrupt this for just a moment.
Yeah.
And we will be back. Awesome.
Okay, so where were we?
We were with tuning your radio into the right frequency.
Oh, yes.
And that you offer this frequency of healing. That's your like, that's the root, the anchor, and the stream that you're bringing through to offer. Yes. And then you listed a whole bunch of different services. So chop through those. Let's think about that. Like, I know from my work with you, but you talk about them first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just like when I was younger, it still fascinated me. I kind of put everything away when I graduated college. And then I got married and I had children, and I was really immersed in like 3D life. And then is what usually happens in a spiritual reawakening. My life just totally turned upside down, and I went back to what I knew. So I came back to this. And so I continued my interest. And so I've studied so many different things. So I do access bars, which is available here at the lights. And that is an energy modality that involves 32 points on your head. It kind of resembles Chinese acupressure, where these points on your head coincide with different parts of your brain. And when the practitioner touches these points on your head in certain combinations, your body, just like in the lights, your body intuitively knows whether to connect telomeres or disconnect telomeres that have been connected. And so it's really powerful. People have recovered from pain, released trauma, a lot of different really good things have come from that.
A lot of different really good things.
Yeah.
And you guys, when my experience, it's a little bit like a specific Reiki.
Yeah.
So it's like her hands are on my head and it's stimulating parts of the brain, and I feel it through the body as if someone is being very specific and very directive about where they want the energetic currents to go, which allows the channels to repair synapses that are broken or clear things that are, blocked, or power energy through a place that's maybe depleted. And when it's been done in here, ooh la la, really, really impactful. Yeah, like it just, being in the higher frequency just seems to soup everything up. So yeah, that's available here.
Yeah, for sure. And it does. In here, everything is amplified. So even if you come in here for a visit, you put on a meditation in your headphones, because it amps it up too.
Yeah.
I do readings, I do mediumship, and mediumship can be very healing. Like, you can still heal relationships even after the person has passed, because the energy of that person is still here. Energy can't be created or destroyed, and you can still interact with their energy. I've learned that language, so to speak. So,
and also I feel like, because I've had the benefit of Michelle's mediumship, that she's able to hear through dimensions. And so things that aren't in the third dimension here with us, knock knock, physical form, are accessible to you. And it's like you're a translator through that dimensional into other dimensions, and you can see, hear, intuit, know, and get the messaging. It's been really helpful. I had an access bars, and Michelle's like, I said, somebody's here. Like, who is that just like is sitting over there? And she's like, oh, it's a man. And it was my grandfather. And I said, that's so interesting, because my grandfather has never come through. Like, I've been years, my whole lifetime. And both my parents are my grandparents. This grandfather died when I was 2. And my grandmother, his wife, died when I was like 19. And so throughout my lifetime, my grandmother has come in all the time, but my grandfather never has. And Michelle's like, oh, he's laughing. And I'm like, yeah, because he knows she's pushy and he never gets a word in. And they weren't together. He had passed so much earlier that she went on and remarried and everything. It wasn't like, but it was just so true. It was so true. And it was like such a really great example of that translation through dimensions, where you could still sense and feel and know his personality and his presence, and the dynamics of what was here on earth are still available. Like, it's all right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with people who have passed over, like people who, their body has released the energy that once animated them, but the energy isn't destroyed, because scientifically it can't be. So it's still around. You can still access it. And I find what's really interesting is, maybe not in your particular case, this wasn't your experience, but people who have had really traumatic relationships with someone who have passed, it's a way to heal that without being re-traumatized, because that person is not in the body anymore. That person can't, and also that energy has a higher vision. Like, you can access information with that energy that maybe that energy didn't have the opportunity to access when it was here.
100%.
So there's a lot of healing that happens, even if it's somebody you don't want to talk to initially.
Probably, like, that would be healing, like, for me, as the person still in the 3D.
Yeah.
But my guess is it's also probably healing for the soul of that person.
Yeah.
Who perhaps left and then looks back and says, I kind of regret that. That was hard. And we're all kind of playing our roles with each other. But
well, the beautiful thing is, if you didn't heal it this lifetime,
No
you're going to
problem.
get to do it again. You know what I mean? So let's just heal it this lifetime. It doesn't have to be that that person is physically embodied. So
Yeah.
that is one of the things that I really love about doing mediumship.
Did you learn that from someone in particular?
I I didn't actually know that I could do mediumship. I hadn't thought about it. And then COVID happened and I was like, okay, what can I learn? I can learn something new. And this Tony Stockwell, who is a very famous UK medium, he has TV shows that are shown here in the US. He was offering for the first time ever because of COVID, offering an online um, uh, practicum mentorship for a year. And
Wow, that's what you did with your year.
yeah, that's what I did with my year. And I thought, it was so weird. I saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, I would love to do this. And you had to apply. I thought, well, I'm just going to apply. I have no idea where this money is going to come from. And I applied and then I got accepted and I asked about scholarships and there weren't any available at the time. And I'm like, all right, well, that might be it. And then literally the next day, this check came in the mail for that amount of money. I mean, people say those things all the time, but until you experience it and it's like, oh, okay, I'm really supposed to do this. And that was incredible. I've studied with other mediums in the UK too. Yeah.
This is like when the universe just shows up so strong for you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that happens through my own prayers sometimes, but often, like in this case, you sent that and said that, and somebody picked up that email and heard you say, I don't know if I can do it if there's not a scholarship. And they sent a prayer. And like how we all work to support each other and want the best for each other. And then it just comes through really beautifully.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out that way.
Yeah, thank
because
you.
You're really good.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
actually really, really good.
And I love it. I didn't expect to love it so much. And I just really love it. I love connecting with the other side. They're so humorous. Like the energy is so humorous and it's so healing. I'm really blessed to be able to do that. Yeah, so that I actually do the last Friday of every month over at Cleveland Urban Winery. It's a group thing.
Cool. You guys, did you hear that?
Yeah.
We'll put the link below.
Yeah. And then the crystal frequency attunement. So I won't get too much into this story because it's a whole story by itself, but I started doing channeling with crystal skulls, which I had always had like nope, that's skull. I'm not doing that. And then I learned more about them and understood that they were sacred objects and, they were connected to Atlantis, all these things. And so I started working with them, and through my work with them, I came to understand how to do something called a crystal frequency attunement. What's really interesting? I just found this out the other day. So crystal, I kept on thinking that's such an interesting word, because if you take off the AL, it's CRYST, and you could read it as Christ.
Okay. Yeah.
And Christ all. And I just for the heck of it, I Googled it the other day. And when you spell it CHRISTALL, Christ all, that is an old, outdated spelling of crystal. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. What's it called? The name for like the origins of words is like a fascinating study because you think, oh, it's arbitrary. It doesn't really matter. It all matters. Sound is a codex, creates a pattern. Like when the yogis say they would take mantras and create a sword out of a blade of grass, quite literally sound creates the sound codex, the creates where your tongue hits the roof of the mouth, creates within you, like it's vibrating through the cells, every word you speak. Like it's really powerful.
I have goosebumps right now.
Christ all.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that makes so much sense to me because it's a crystal Christ all frequency attunement. So we have the ability, to me, the second coming of Christ is within all of us. It's embodying the Christ energy. To me, it does not mean there's a person who's going to show up. And it means every person is going to show up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Every person is going to
Every person.
Yeah.
And so what that is, it's something that I was gifted, and I'm able to attune people's frequency to be more attuned to their higher self, their Christ self, their Christ energy. And that is not particular to any particular religion. You know, I mean, there were so many representations and so many people who embodied Christ energy
throughout history,
different regions. They're called something else.
And I mean, when you think about, like, even when I think of sacred people in my life, I think of people who just brought so much love through their mothering, through their aunting, through their nannying, through their, like, their gifts of living. And so that's really one way of creating unity among us, rather than tagging things with different religions, which creates division among us. So if we can open our minds and kind of like step our consciousness in through this next door of just saying, how can we create words and practices and activities and connections that bring us unity and brings us all together? Like, can we just say, listen to this word crystal and consider the maybiness of Christ all, and the maybiness of my capacity to just really just be my best self. That's all it is. It's like, be my best self, be my happiest self, be my most joyful self, be my healthiest self, be my most vibrant, lit up version of who I'm supposed to be, is the Christ consciousness that's
it's available.
Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of healing that happens too with that. I had been doing meditations once upon a time in a place in Richfield, and I did a full moon meditations, and I would always include like the crystal frequency attunement at the end. And people would say they could feel something shifting in their heads. It was really interesting. And then they would have,
we have hematite crystals in our heads.
So it's interesting because being in here, I mean, you can attune your crystals, you can clear your crystals with this energy, like literal, you know.
No, you can bring your crystals,
your physical crystals,
your rocks. And you can bring your anthropology rock if you want. Have you seen that on Instagram?
No, what is that?
They're making this big joke about like wives telling their husbands, I think it's like the 30-year-olds telling their husbands, like, they'll take an ordinary rock from the yard and say, look at my new anthropology rock, was on sale for $500. And it's like this joke that they're doing. But bring your anthropology rocks, bring your crystals, your rose quartz, your amethyst, bring your bracelets and your necklace, like bring your 100%. Gems in here and let them have a frequency charge, because it makes a difference. They're gonna shine on the way home.
That's the truth. And it brings so much healing. I did this in one person. You know, there's no expectations. Be open and see what happens. And this one lady who received the crystal frequency attunement, she went home, and it was like a couple weeks later that she called me, and she said, I had this epiphany. She said, my dad had passed, and I was always so angry with him because he would invite the family over, and we would come over. Even when she was young, you know, she had moved out of the house and had children of her own. Everybody would come over, and everybody would be there. And then he'd look around, say hello, and go to bed. And she felt like he was like abandoning them and not making them important. You know what I mean? It was almost like she took it as a slight. But she had this epiphany that what was really happening was this is going to make me cry. He needed to see everyone to be at peace, to be able to go to sleep. Like, it's like calling your kids to make sure you know where they are and that they're safe, and then you can take a breath. And so it totally changed her relationship with her dad, because she was able to see that from a different perspective, and she could let that resentment go. And you know, from your practice with yoga, you hold it, makes you sick.
You do hold it. And you know, sometimes gosh, it's like it wasn't out of his abandonment that he was leaving. It was out of his deep love that he was leaving.
Yes.
And that's like a sleight of hand that you think, oh, that this, like I can have a resentment or I can have a grudge and I can think of this meditation won't help. This hour in the lights won't help. This conversation with my friend won't help. What could help? I feel so grudgy, and then you didn't tell her anything. You didn't channel anything. She, through her own realignment, was able to be open to a thought stream that came through and just said, hey, this is what it went to. And then she had that space in her heart and in her mind to say, I can see it differently. And it brought her so much peace. That's really powerful.
Yeah. And that is a big thing for me is like, I love you all. And I don't want you to be reliant on me for everything. Like, trust yourself and you have your healing abilities and you can self-heal.
Now more than ever. Now more than
yes,
ever.
Now more than ever. And maybe you need a little boost. Like maybe you come in here, maybe you do the crystal frequency attunement, maybe you do the access bars, maybe you do some yoga, whatever you feel drawn to. Like, trust yourself that you're taking a step in the right direction,
100%. And it's part of our conversation here all the time that the lights don't heal you, you heal you.
Yes.
The access bars doesn't heal you, you heal you.
Yes.
The crystal meditation, Tracy, Michelle don't heal you, like you heal you. But like we're all here together, just encouraging each other to show up in these different spaces and to do these different things so that that stream of energy can come through and so that we can create some space. And we're not like, I don't know, sometimes my grudges are really handy. I mean, they keep me safe. They keep me in a pattern or a habit that is familiar, which feels like less risky than healing and being in the unknown. Maybe they get me attention. Maybe they get me certain people to do certain things for me. That is like there's always like this subconscious backstory behind our wounds, and it can be really difficult just to let them go, but it's all integrated. So if I have a mental emotional wound, it's a mental pattern wound, it's a physical body wound somewhere. And then where can we kind of like pick a thread, or when you're trying to get a sticker off of your goods from Home Goods, like where can I get the corner up to just get a little bit, and peel it really slow and hope the whole thing comes off clean. It's like, where can we get just a little space to let the light come through, the energy flow come through, and the healing really to come through.
100%. Yep. Just let it in just a little bit. Even being open, like you said, to the possibility that something can help create an environment for you where you're feeling more open and more able and more free to shift something, even if you don't know what it is. You don't have to know. Your body knows.
Yeah, there's an intelligence.
Your body knows.
There's definitely intelligence.
Yeah.
And I also feel kind of compelled to share that, people say, will this work for me? Will the meditation work for me? Will the access bars work for me? Will the lights work for me? And honestly, like frequency is a law of physics.
Yeah.
Like gravity holds everyone on the planet, no exceptions.
Yeah.
You might not know the word gravity, you might not understand it. You might be one of those people like, I don't even believe in gravity. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in that woo-woo stuff. Like you can think all of that, but it's just a law of physics. And, I can tell you that the future of healing is frequency, light, sound. And you could say, I don't believe you. You don't have to, but it's going to work because it's a frequency thing. It's just a matter of, can you let go enough of the habitual blocks and resistances to relax and just let it do that. And then, we have a lot for you. Michelle, you bring a lot to the team here.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you really do. You brought a lot to my life.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I know. We could chat all day.
Yeah, this is so fun.
We're going to do another, I don't know if this will come out as part 1, part 2, and then it would be part 3, or maybe I was able to like link the videos and this is all part 1, but there's more. That's my point. There's more. And I do want to learn more about the crystal skulls, because that's an interesting piece of history and an interesting strategy. You guys, like, when you think of these skills and abilities, like Michelle said, she knew she could do certain things, but didn't know necessarily that the channeling or the mediumship was going to be her kind of superpower. Like, that's a really beautiful gift that you were carrying within you, that you were courageous enough to step forward and unearth, and curious enough. And you also saw the possibility that it might be.
Yeah.
Like, I think one thing that's unique about this period in history is that that's true for all of us too.
Mhm.
Like, we all have gifts.
Yeah. And you can access them anytime.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you don't have to have known from the time you were a child,
No.
you know?
Yeah.
I mean, really, with the crystal skulls, I was very resistant to that. And I was like, nope. And then I got a crystal skull, which is a whole different story. And I went, okay, now what do I do with this thing? I don't know
Yeah.
what to do with it. And I was an adult.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm supposed to have it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it,
Yeah.
but I have it. And then I just said, what am I supposed to do with this?
Kind of like when you were in the library.
Yeah.
What books am I supposed to read?
Yeah.
And
So you
just
don't
allowing
have
that
to
higher
know.
consciousness to kind of guide you.
Yes, you don't have to know.
Yeah.
I said this to somebody the other day. You're not looking at a landscape and trying to recreate it on your canvas. That's not what's happening.
Mm.
You are creating something completely unique on your canvas. You can't do it wrong. You know, you're not going to go, oh, I put the chimney over there and it should be a little bit more to the right. You're not doing that. You're creating something that's completely unique, and you can change it and morph it and paint over it and be as creative as you want. Take your time, go fast, you know, just be involved in it and experience it as each thing kind of unfolds. You don't have to know the end. You don't read the end of the book and then start at the beginning.
Why would you want the end? Are you ready to leave?
Yeah.
Like, we want to be.
That's not the end either. Just newsflash.
Right. But yeah, it's like, don't rush the end. Just sort of like let it be in process from wherever you are today.
Yeah. Be here now. I think there's a book.
There's a book, Be Here Now.
Yeah.
And, you know, Daryl with Bashar always says, you know, follow your passion, follow your passion.
Yeah, you don't have to know where it's going.
Yeah.
Just take a step.
Just do your next thing.
Take a step and see what happens.
So we hope that your next step includes getting in here. You can book with Michelle privately for an access bars, for crystal meditation, for like all of these things that she does, she will do privately. But if you come on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock on, I think we're starting October 14th, again, October 28th, and then look for the dates past that. At 6 o'clock, it'll just be included in your session. And if you happen to be here and you're not interested in that meditation, but you just want to rest in the lights here, we have earplugs, we have eye masks, we have all different ways to make the world go away. You can just have your own quiet time. But we really do hope you'll join her, because it's a complimentary offering. It's so nice that she brings her talents here and shares that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
this was so fun.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It was great meeting all you guys too.
Exactly. So, and Rachel will be back teaching at some point, but until then, she's home with Gwendolyn, and Michelle's going to hold the baby as much as she can, I know too. And they're taking good care of next generation of healers and
oh my goodness.
And star seeds and light warriors for our planet and our humanity.
Yes.
Thanks for following, you guys. Namaste, Satnam. Be so well.
Bye.
Where is it? There it is.